Hello and thanks for joining us today for another live broadcast of SMTV on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers.
With Halloween right around the corner, on Wednesday actually of next week, it's a great time to talk about ideas for using Halloween in your marketing.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, using Halloween is a very effective tool to get people's attention. I love always viewing people's costumes and seeing what everybody's posting. So, costume contest is always a great idea. You can create a tab and have people upload their photos of their costume that they've worn or their favorite costume they've seen that their friend wear. That's always a great idea. Another one is talk about your favorite kind of candy. Why not?
Oh, I love
My favorite kind of candy on Halloween happens to be Snickers or Twix. If you feel
Twix,
compelled,
personal favorite.
You know, I love it. I love it. I mean, nothing used to make me more upset when you go to somebody's house and they'd have terrible candy, right? They get candy corns or something. I mean, candy corns are okay,
that
but
popcorn ball.
Yeah, no.
I can make popcorn myself.
Or healthy snack, like here's a vegetable or a banana or something. No, we don't want that. We want the good candy. We're here for the chocolate. So always talking about candy is a great idea. What would be some ideas you suggest, Duncan?
I think those are great. Candies, recipes. And the nice thing about Halloween is you've got this whole spooky theme, and any brand can.
Spooky theme.
I did it improperly. I didn't do the
spooky theme.
You do that so much better than I do. But you have that built in.
Right.
So any brand, any company can talk about nightmares for plumbing if it's a plumbing company, or your IRS nightmares if you're a CPA. I mean, you can do anything with nightmares or spooky or worst case scenarios, that kind of thing.
I love that. I love that. Those are some really, really cool ideas. I would have never even thought to play it off of your business by saying, having people tell their stories of like a terrible accident or a nightmare.
You can do stories, you can do top 10, any of that stuff, using that scary theme with some fun graphics built into.
Yes, very scary. I like it.
Whenever you have a question or topic you'd like us to discuss, I do it much better now. I had to get into the character.
Yes.
If you want us to discuss it on the broadcast, please send it over to us.
You can email us your questions to questions@splashmediau.com, or you can tweet them to us by using the hashtag SMTVQuestions.
Let's start out today with our first question from Scott. Scott wants to know, what are some creative ways, because we're now in the creative mood, creative ways to use the new offsite link feature on YouTube? Very cool feature.
Very cool feature, and you and I were discussing how it would be best to try to link use those links to a form fill page so that people can actually engage with you, so to speak, on your website instead of just sending them somewhere to read or something. You wanted to make it a little bit more interactive. So we were talking that would be probably your best bet, is to use that feature to send people to a site where they have the ability to engage with you as a customer and on your website. Probably best through a form of some sort, but there are some other ideas we discussed too, Duncan. What would you?
Yeah, I think the topic is anything you would normally put in the description, now just move that up. There's a much better place for it, because the problem with the video description underneath the video is that you only see it if you're on YouTube. You don't see it if you've embedded your video. You don't see it if you put it in Facebook unless you've copied and pasted it over. So now with the ability that's being rolled out to link to an external site, you can move that landing page URL that you might have had in the description up into the video itself. So don't overthink it. I would take whatever you're linking to, your landing page, your entry form if it's a contest, just take it out of the description and copy it right into the video.
Right into the video. Very effective.
Yeah, if you need any help with this, I highly recommend the video that actually realseo.com pointed to, and it's a great overview of a couple of YouTube updates. And so just find this on the Real SEO blog, and it's a great little introduction to what's going on.
Speaking on the Halloween thing, Duncan, I think you should dress up as Batman, because you always have these great tools in your utility belt for us as
I just pull them out. Try this.
Try this. It works.
The problem is I'm not very sneaky about it. You can hear me coming. You can see me coming from a while away.
Charity wrote to us, is Twitter useful for finding a job?
We haven't talked about Twitter as a job resource before. We've talked about, I think, Facebook and LinkedIn, but it definitely can be for both employers and for potential employees. An employer can post a job and send it out, even purchase a tweet, do a promoted tweet, and an employer could just come up with, and I pulled up Twitter search because I always love talking about Twitter search, especially advanced search, but there are so many great ways to search by specific geographic region with certain phrases for the actual position, anything you want.
And also, depending on what kind of industry that you want to get in, I know there are a lot of Twitter handles that are dedicated specifically to distributing job postings throughout that industry. They may not be location-based necessarily. You might be able to find the location-based ones, but they definitely will talk about, you know, if you want to be the SMTV host in Los Angeles, California, that opening might be open, but you know the one in Dallas is definitely closed. No, but that was an example to say that there's a lot of opportunity to look for job postings. If you're interested in whatever industry you want, they have those handles dedicated to putting out those job postings for that specific industry. Yeah,
just make sure that your Twitter profile is employer friendly.
Oh yes,
Make sure that your background is nice and clean. Maybe a link to your resume, not a bad idea in your bio. Just make sure it's very
clean and professional.
Clean and professional.
And be very careful about what you comment on and what you're tweeting.
Always important, yeah.
Definitely.
Ray wants to know, my blog is boring. I'm sorry, Ray. We'll try to help you spice it up. He wants to know how to spice up his blog.
Well, Ray, first of all, you should maybe pour a glass of wine and, no, I'm just kidding. Ray, what we suggest is basically, I'm not sure what industry you're in or what sort of specific area you're trying to blog about or topics you're trying to blog about, but we always talk about, you know, enhancing your graphics on your blog. We talk about including a lot more picture and video. Those help create engagement, sort of make it a lot more beautiful and sort of easier to look at. An aesthetically pleasing aspect of a blog is sort of sometimes overlooked by people. I think that they try to keep it simple, but it also should look pretty too, to keep eyes glued to it. So, you know, maybe try to work into some new artwork, put in some new video, maybe put on a few new pictures, and try to get things going. I really think those are the three quickest ways to, you know, spice up a blog and make it a little bit more user-friendly. So do you have any suggestions, Don?
No, I love those ideas. And you know, one thing that also comes to mind is just because you're trying to work in key phrases, or better yet, you're building content around key phrases, readable, engaging content, doesn't mean you can't make your title and your first paragraph really attention-getting.
Sure.
I think that's something we miss. We're so wrapped up in, oh, I got to squeeze in this 3-word phrase because that's what people are searching for. You do, but you can still make your first paragraph interesting and maybe a little controversial, or bring up some topics that really get the reader interested and make them want to read more.
Yeah, we've used that strategy before, and it's been very successful. Controversy always sort of helps build up the viewership of a blog because people want to read. People don't want to read the bland, boring stuff.
No.
Bland, boring
That is
stuff.
not easy to say. I'm
boring,
impressed. Yeah.
The bland, boring stuff. So make sure it's a little bit controversial, maybe a little not risque in the unprofessional
sense. Well,
sense.
Fits with your company.
But right,
yeah.
Something that fits in your company, and maybe an opinion that is not popular amongst your peers. So.
Not a bad idea. And then just make sure you spread the word around.
Sure.
Get it out there.
Sure. Marlene wrote to us, why is Twitter a good customer service platform?
It's real time. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's a real-time way for you to reach out and respond to people who are your customers, talking about either your services in general because they're looking for your kind of products, or reaching out directly to you with a compliment or even a complaint.
Yeah, I've definitely used Twitter to my benefit, customer service-wise. I've gone after companies that have either gotten a terrible product from them, or something is broke, or something hasn't worked correctly, and I've engaged with them on Twitter. And so far, it's been successful with each one of my the companies I've gone after. I'm not going to mention them, but I'll say that working with them and engaging with them via Twitter has been a helpful benefit to waiting on the phone for 20 minutes, while somebody grabs the line or something like that. So, I definitely would recommend it. It's a great customer service opportunity. It's a great way to engage directly with, clients or customers who may be upset or may have issues with whatever you're selling. So use Twitter to your benefit. It could definitely help change the way people think about your brand, that's for sure, in the customer service that you provide.
Absolutely. I said real time, but obviously it's not the same real time as if you called the company on the phone where you're talking live to a person. But the advantage it has is similar to the advantage of email, but you imagine that with Twitter, you feel like you're talking directly to either a person or directly to the brand or whoever's representing the brand.
Right.
And the advantage is similar to email, where on your own time, you can tweet that out and maybe have your followers see it and respond to you as well. So not only are you reaching out to the brand, but it's public. So your connections, your followers and friends might see that, and they might have a recommendation for you that might be, well, I hate that company, so try this one. Or I use that company too, they're great, and then it kind of fills some of that space and makes you feel better about your choice once the brand comes back in and answers whatever it is you're asking.
Sure.
These are great questions. Love talking about the Twitter stuff today.
Love
talking about Twitter. That's going to do it for today. Want to thank you for joining us this Thursday afternoon. Keep those questions and topic ideas coming in. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers. Be sure you have a great day.